There we are.
Good morning, everybody. I'm Ed Parcaut, and look at Mike Kelly's in the studio today.
For a week.
Yeah, we're Real Estate Jerky Daily, and
Today's the day.
Today is a day, so it would be daily. It's Monday.
Yeah.
Monday. What a difference a week makes, man.
Oh, my Lord.
Last Monday, I was just sitting around watching Inauguration going, I wonder what's next. 200 executive orders later, and all of a sudden, all the horrible people are getting moved out of the country.
Yeah, the deportations have been gangbusters. They've been going like crazy. And then you got the...
Go ahead.
No, I don't want to. I'm not going to open that.
Okay. Well, what I want to say is I saw a thing yesterday. So if you come up from San Diego, once you get past Camp Pendleton, there's this thing called, was it an immigration checkpoint?
Yep.
It's been shut down for years.
Yeah.
And now it was open yesterday, this
open?
weekend. Yes. Or this week. And everybody's freaking out because they're actually out there going, slow down, stop. And now you actually have to get checked on both sides like it used to be. I mean, it was that way for years.
I remember doing that.
If you go back and look at all the past administrations, and I mean, besides this last one, they are all about immigration and doing it right. And you can get all these things out there. It's not just skewed one way. Everybody needs to get behind it. We need to get our country back. And that all this stuff will help us in this industry, the real estate and mortgage. How is that going to happen, Ed? Because that's just how it works.
Yeah.
We're spending so much money on all these people to house them and all this other stuff that affects everything, cost, inflation, everything. So this will be better for all of us. I understand there are some people who are here because of asylum and stuff like that. Well, get your court case and get it taken care of. I know it's a few years later. I know it's not perfect system. Well, maybe everybody should work together to get it fixed.
It does need to be fixed. Yeah. But coming in illegally is not the way you fix it.
No. And I mean, I love the one with the Haiti guy. I love Biden. Did you see that guy? He's getting arrested and put in a vehicle, and he's yelling how he loved Obama and Biden, and he hates Trump.
Yeah,
because he's going home.
Because there's laws, and they're making me live by that law.
And Trump just showed, don't mess with me because I'll sanction your country if you don't take your people back.
Yeah, I like that. I came back from 4 days or 3 days in D.C., and I tell you what, the atmosphere there is absolutely electric. Down from, the maitre d' or hotel workers, the room cleaners, all the way up to the top. And I was with about 550 other different realtors who were either old federal political coordinators for their congressperson, or freshmen like me learning the ropes, and just on fire, electric.
Do you get paid for this?
No, I get a stipend.
What's a
stipend's going to cover my travel costs, basically. So,
but this way you can run for government now.
Yeah, I'm going to run from government. No, don't think I'll ever run for government. I've talked about it a couple times, just like you did.
Did you look at the?
And what did your wife say?
Hell no.
Yeah.
Did you look at the TikTok I sent you about Trump grabbing a? Oh, we'll talk afterwards.
I think I did.
Yeah, when he hugged Newsom.
Yes.
Anyway, we'll move on.
Yeah.
That whole statement about his first time around, what he did. He just did it again. Someone's like, I can't believe he did it again. Anyway. All right. So we got some things going on in this market this morning.
Tell me.
Right now, the mortgages are up 27 basis points. The 10 years down to 4.53 so about almost 10 basis points.
Cool.
And the market right now is, let's see, Dow is down, only 73, thank goodness. NASDAQ is down 646. And the whole reason is because of this new thing that came out, which is a Chinese AI that has actually, it's called DeepSeek. And what it is they actually took OpenAI and re-engineered it backwards, and then it cost them $5 million to create it, and we spent hundreds and hundreds of millions on creating our own, and so it's caused a major issue in the AI side on our time. Yes, on our side, because of how cheap they made it. Well, they also don't pay their people very well.
No.
Yeah. So that's messing everything up, and I never thought AI would actually help with the bonds, but it did, and the rates. So there you go.
Well, Yeah, take all the help we can get, right?
That's right. All right. So what's new this week? Well, we got inventory this week. We are up 4,462 active listings nationwide.
Nationwide,
Yeah,
wow.
636,580. Woohoo!
Yee-hee.
Yeah, last year at this time, we actually were down to only 503,192. All-time low for this week is 2022 of 240,497. So we've had some major increases here lately. I'm just kidding. Our normal for this time, if you look at 200 in 2015, I cannot talk today. We had 938,452. So if you look at we're only about 300,000 off of our normal.
And that was a big conversation in DC is inventory. They're saying we need to lessen the restrictions it costs to bring a piece of property to even a foundation nationwide. So
it's really California. It really needs it because we were so short.
We're definitely so short, and we're so expensive to build. Almost all the way across the state.
I'm not short, but most people are.
No, you're fairly tall. You're like 6'2" or 6'3".
No. When I had hair, I was 6'3".
A bouffant.
Yeah, that was more 6'5".
Yeah.
What else we got? So what else? New home sales came out today. So here's the things that are coming out this week, and I'll get into it. So Monday is new home sales. I'll get into in a second. Tuesday, durable good orders, Case-Shiller home price index, and FHFA house price index. Wednesday, mortgage application, Federal Reserve statement and press conference. Thursday is initial jobless claims, GDP growth for fourth quarter of last year, pending home sales. Friday is PCE, personal consumption expenditure, which is, of course, Fed's favorite gauge of inflation.
Right.
And then the employment cost index just looks at wage growth and labor market. So this is not labor week. This is more news on what's going on in the actual housing, what's going on with that.
Good.
All right, so First one today is new home sales, which this is put out by the new home builders. That is correct.
Wow.
In December, new home sales, which measure signed contracts on new homes, not closed. This is the only thing I don't like about this index. I'd be like pending home sales, right? Is it really this should be pending new home sale?
Yep.
Not new home sales.
Right.
Right.
Pending sales.
Yeah, exactly. Rose 3.6% to 698,000 unit annualized pace. The inventory of new homes on the market increased by 1.2% to 490,000 units. Meanwhile, the median home price climbed 6.1% and now sitting at 427,000. Not in California, of course.
Yes.
Builders are benefiting from, they're saying stable mortgage rates. They ain't stable. We're still high compared to where we were. We're now under 7, but we've had much lower back in September. So they're like, rates dropped back to December 20th. That's okay. What they're like, they take anything these days. Oh my God, look at this.
They dropped, they surged, they exploded, they imploded.
Yeah.
Right.
What else?
All those actually.
Housing crisis solutions under discussion, like you talked about, incentive for affordable housing, rezoning reform, streamlining regulations. But we're going to see what really happens. So, but what they're saying for real estate agents, I looked over at you instead of straight ahead. Sorry. You really need to go back to how we used to do it. They call it old school real estate strategies, make a comeback. How about we go back to what is the normal and what you're supposed to do day in and day out?
So what are they thinking? What's the normal?
Personalized engagement, handwritten notes, door knocking, and make sure you carry. In-person follow-ups are helping agents build trust. Local expertise. Agents are doubling down on neighborhoods knowledge to better guide buyers and sellers. So this is what we talked about, I think about 2 or 3 months ago.
Yep.
Get hyper local. Everything you talk about should be about Modesto and where you focus.
Yeah.
And go back to that is what they're saying. Stop trying to be this national person all over the place. Focus locally. The only caveat to that is lenders like me. We have to pick different counties because we can't just live off of one little street.
There's no way you can pick up just one county and survive.
Host community connections, host events, and working with local businesses, helping agents build stronger client relationships. The stuff that we used to do. If you don't understand what to do, why don't you get a Zig Ziglar book? I would say go get a cassette, but they don't make those anymore.
You can probably find one.
Oh, you know where you can go? Library. I'm sure they have them.
Yeah, they do. And you don't have to return them anymore.
No. Just go get an audible of Zig Ziglar about how to do sales. He'll tell you everything because he really focused back. I mean, when he talks about real estate and this and that, he does talk about that a lot in his stuff.
Well, that's all there was back then.
Right. And then there's also who else was the guy? Brian Tracy, right?
Love Brian
Yeah,
Tracy.
he's good. Go back to the basics of what we're supposed to do.
Is it Jim Rohn?
Okay.
Jim Rohn.
Is he the guy that does the dirty jobs?
No, that's Mike Rowe. He's good too, though. Jim Rohn, I just remember, there was this Masters of Excellence series, and once a month you would go to Sacramento Coliseum, not Coliseum, but Convention Center, and hear someone like Brian Tracy or Jim Rohn or some of the other speakers. And I remember his one thing. He says, "You just don't have to be a goose. Don't follow the pack. You don't have to be a goose.
Yeah.
Do something on your own." But it comes down to personal service. It comes down to doing all the things that we used to do. Don't try to be that influencer or that social media star. You spend all your time dancing and producing, and you're not talking to people.
What you need to do is find out who your perfect client is.
Yeah.
Right. Or they call it avatar for the youngsters.
Yeah.
And talk to them. Since I've been doing that with the veterans, it's amazing how much more veterans. And that's the thing is please don't get it wrong. I'll help anybody, but really who I really like
specializing
veterans. And so much that I just closed a VA loan in 8 days. I beat my previous record of 10 days by 2 days. And there you go.
There you go.
And it wasn't only me. The appraiser got it in within 4 days.
It does take the team.
And escrow officer, once we got docs to her, she got them in the first thing in the morning. Because here's what happened: they had it already, but they couldn't sign until the 8th day because that's
when God rested.
That's when I rested. The issue is when you sign the loan estimate, you cannot sign loan documents for 7 days after that. So you have to wait till the 8th day, and that's what we had. So docs were there on Thursday, but we couldn't sign till Friday morning. They got them in at 8 a.m. with the notary because they didn't have a notary on staff that day. Then as soon as they finished, they uploaded them, requested the wire. Wire came in 2 hours, and it was out for recording. And by 12:30, it was done.
Yeah. So what you're telling me is, if we didn't have that 7-day rule, you would have been done a lot earlier.
Yes. But that's why you can only close a day max. As earliest is 8 days. Yes.
But how comfortable are you sitting at those last 4 days, or 3 days, knowing everything's done, approved, going to have docs here, boom, we're done. You don't have to fret. You don't have to fight. You don't have to fart around. You're just, I think I'll have a cigar and a whiskey, and I'll wait till Monday.
I don't like whiskey.
Or a mezcal.
And then the other, there you go. But everything anyway. And then I had another one last week that I think I told you about. I have somebody who is doing a down payment assistant program through their company, and their company created it. And if you're doing a down payment assistant program, there's a lot of stuff you don't understand and you have to put into place. Normally, they're already in place. And here's everything. No, and so if you're going to create one, reach out to me and I can explain to you what you need to do to make sure that you match Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac guidelines. Ever since they were taken over by the government, and this is not a woke thing, but basically they're very inclusive. It has to be done for every, certain things.
Have to speak in plurals.
Yeah. So it's just little things that you don't think about. People want to be personalized. It can't be personalized. It has to be generalized.
Yeah.
Does that make it better?
It does. It makes sense. It doesn't make it better.
The letter because what happens is, besides the program and what they signed in the contract, right?
Mm-hmm.
You need a letter that states, congratulations, you got it.
Yeah.
And can't be too personalized, but can be personalized to them because that's who it's for. And then they want to know, how was this program created or established, and who it was established for. And the reason I would say the word established, it needs to be in place and not just created for that person.
Right.
And which technically the reason that people love to be attorneys is you can argue like you said, semantics about words and what their interpretation of the word versus somebody else's interpretation of the word.
Yeah.
And you can't, and then you can always put a clause on the letter about it saying that this is not going to be here forever. We're going to look at it each year to see if it's available for the next person. And that's easy. It's not that big of a deal, but now that it just takes a few extra days. And if you're not going to sign the original thing until like a week before close, we might run into some issues up to those days. And the only issue, it was supposed to close today and it's going to close today. I was trying to close it last week, but then all this other stuff popped up and then trying to get through it.
You can't say for the next person. You have to say that for the next people's.
Or just whatever their person,
Right.
engineers or architects or
Pastor,
whatever it is,
Yeah.
doctors, nurses, med techs,
first
yeah,
responders.
those kind of things.
Yeah.
And that's
Well, that's
pretty much
It's
it.
exciting though that you got that to happen and to get that done for that person.
Yeah, they're happy because, and so is the company. And
And that
it's
wasn't
kind
a
of a
pick, that was a
shared, it's
stretch.
kind of a shared appreciation for all kind of a program.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which can be
Whoa.
done for everybody.
I feel like kumbaya.
Kumbaya, my lord.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Hell,
All right.
that's-
So that's pretty much it. I didn't take it back. I did work on Saturday morning at the cabin. I had to make a couple phone calls
Mhm.
because someone reached out to somebody else because they're having a deal that's not closing. And they're like, hey, Ed, I gave your number because they need someone to close something in 10 days. I'm like, no problem.
Cool.
I don't want to be known as that guy, but I just think that you
you can do it.
Well, it's just, you can get this stuff if you do it right from the beginning. If you have them fully underwritten ahead of time, if it goes, well, you can't do that. You got to have the address. Find one on the market, put it in there. You can always change it
Yeah.
and update the stuff before you submit it to
There
underwriting.
you go. That one fell out.
Yeah, it's not a big, once you submit, you can't change the address, but until you submit, you can still change the address.
Yeah, but you can get them fully underwritten, right?
Oh, all the way through.
Yeah.
For what? And so that way, I mean, like the VAs, that's a couple hours. It's out of underwriting, and then you're just working on a few things. While you're waiting on the appraisal, you're just working on the conditions, and it wasn't an easy one. There was stuff I had to do that was, wasn't like a slam dunk,
Right.
but there was a couple things I had to handle. But other than that, there we go. And when your loan officer's asking for conditions, please get them in now.
Saturday, I just had to fly for 6 hours.
You flew back Saturday?
Yeah.
So DC would be a good time to go visit or wait a little bit?
Oh, I think it'd be a good time to go visit. It's a little cold, but it was actually warming up. It got up to 22.
Did you get to see Trump?
No. We did we had lunch
with Trump,
but I didn't get to see him. He wasn't there. So I had lunch with 400 other people. No, we didn't get to see Trump. I went to a buddy of mine. Everybody knows Rick Jones. He's our government affairs director for Central Valley Association of Realtors, and he and I went representing the Central Valley Association of Realtors. There you go. And was it Friday? It was Friday night after we had dinner. We went over to Willard Intercontinental Hotel and had one drink at the Round Bar. And what a building that thing is.
Where is that thing?
It's in DC.
Yeah, I know, because that's where you were.
Yeah, but it's not far from the Capitol.
Oh.
And I guess Lincoln was there in 1861, if I'm correct.
They still have his chair.
His chair's there.
Remember the place in Turlock that had so-and-so's stop by? It had like a chair, and I don't know if it was a president or a movie star or something. It said "sat here" and had a sign by it.
No,
there's a little diner in Turlock.
So sat here. Elvis Presley.
I forget who it was. Yeah.
Very cool building. Very cool building. Very ornate. Redone in the 1980s, and then I think it was just updated again. Freaking beautiful. I mean, just the architecture is just amazing. And they have each state seal on the ceiling, and it's kind of cool.
Cool.
Yeah.
All right. Good.
That's it.
All right, everybody, make it a great day. Thanks for being here. Really appreciate you. Nice to have you back, Mike.
Good to be back.
And we'll be back tomorrow with some more news.
More.
All right. Make it a great day.
Bye.
If you need anything, reach out. All right. Bye.
Peace out. This one.
That's it.